Good morning, class.
Good morning.
How are you guys?
Good. Good.
Everybody have a great day? You already went to your first class? Okay. You guys all know what you should be doing. You should be pulling out your notebooks and doing your do now. You guys all remember the format? I know it's only a couple days of school. Okay? Your do now, it should be on the left side of your paper.
Jasmine, can I borrow this notebook?
Yes. Okay, I think everybody is done. Okay. So let's go over our do now, okay? Okay, so if you guys realize, these first two should have been review. Okay, we covered this on Monday last week, and we covered this on Wednesday last week. So the first one, -5 plus -1. This was the lesson on adding integers with the same sign. So class, what did you guys get?
-6.
-6? Okay, if you don't get that, it's okay. We're going to go over this, okay? Adding integers with the same sign. So we're adding, and do you see how this -5 and this -1, they're the same sign? Okay, so does anybody remember what the rule was for this? Not quite? Okay, we'll use a number line really quick. Okay? So we're going to start here at -5, right? These two should be review, and we're going to add a -1. So because it's a negative, we're going to go 1 to the left. So you're right, the answer should be -6. Okay, but why does a number line not always work? Jack, can you think of why we can't always rely on a number line? And why do we have to rely on a rule?
Because we might not always have, number lines can get really, really big.
Okay.
Like if you have two numbers that are extremely large, it's gonna be super hard to draw a number line.
Good. So what if I gave you -5,000 plus -100? Could you do that on number line?
No. Well, it would just take a long time.
Take forever, right? I don't think you'd want to do that on your weekends, right?
No.
Good. And I think you were about to say maybe you don't always have a number line.
Yeah.
That's a reason too, but really the reason is because when we're dealing with large numbers, this is not practical, right? Okay, so the rule, you guys should have it in your notebooks, but if not, the rule is when you add integers with the same sign, you add the two numbers. So regardless of this sign right here, you add 5 plus 1, which is what? 6. Okay, so 5 plus 1 is 6. And then you keep the sign. That's the rule. Add the numbers and keep the sign. So the sign's negative, so the answer is -6. Okay? And we're gonna have to be remembering our rules from last week so that we can do our lesson today. Okay, number 2 should also be review, adding integers with different signs. So we're adding, and then we have a +4 and a -3. Class, what did you guys get? Tia, you got 1?
1.
Anybody have anything different? It's okay. You guys have something different. Everybody got 1? Okay. Let's use the number line really quick. We're going to start at 4, and we're going to go down 3. 1, 2, 3. There's 1. Okay. Does anybody remember this rule? Okay. Now this rule, when you add integers with different signs, if the signs are different, you subtract the numbers, and you keep the sign of the largest number. You keep the sign of the largest absolute value. So these should be in your notebooks already, but if not, you can write it down. You subtract the numbers. So what's 4 minus 3?
1.
1. Okay, and then we're going to keep the sign of the largest absolute value, or the largest number. So what's our largest number in this?
4.
4. And is 4 positive or negative, Jack?
Positive.
Positive. Good. So it's a positive 1. Okay. What if I had 5 minus, oh, how about this? 5 plus, because we're adding integers, right? 5 plus a negative 8. Okay, Tia, using our rule, can you tell the class how we would solve this problem using our rule? We don't need a number line.
You just subtract it.
Okay, so
Just 3.
so what did you did 8 minus 5?
No, I did 5 minus 8. Oh, yeah, 8 minus 5.
Yeah. So even though this number is smaller,
Yeah.
you just take the numbers, however, you take the biggest number and you just subtract the numbers. 8 minus 5 is 3. And then what do?
You take the sign of the biggest, largest absolute value, so it's negative.
Good.
It's 8.
So 8 minus 5 is 3. And then because 8 is our biggest number and it's negative, our answer is negative. Okay? Perfect. And this last problem, subtracting integers. The reason it's in red is because this is what we're covering today. But on your do now, I wanted you guys to think and see if you could solve it. So did anybody get negative 3 minus 5? I see some head nodding. Tia, what did you get?
Negative 3 minus
Yep, negative 3 minus 5.
minus 5.
What did you get? Negative 8. Okay. If you don't have this correct, it's totally okay because we're going to be doing this today. I just wanted you guys to get thinking. Okay, negative 3 minus 5. You get negative 8. Let's check out a number line. Jack, how do you think we would solve this on a number line? Where would I start?
Negative 3.
Okay, we're going to start at negative 3. Then what do I do?
I think you're gonna go to the left 5 because it's saying negative, so you gotta go towards the negatives.
Negative 8. Okay. 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 Let's learn the rule for negative 3 minus 5. This is the correct answer, Tia. Good job. We start at negative 3, we're going to go to the left 5. But there's a rule for this because, again, you might not always have small numbers, right? Okay. So our lesson today, let me erase this, is on subtracting integers. Okay? And the reason I said we need the first 2 rules is because we're going to use those first 2 rules to do this rule. Math always builds on itself. So if you ever have any questions, please ask me. Okay, and our objective is I can subtract integers using counters, a number line, and the rule. So we used a number line today, and now we're going to learn the rule for subtracting integers. This should also go in your notebook, on the right side of your notebook, and you should have subtracting integers as the title, and then the objective, or the outcome. And this notebook is really good. You're probably going to carry this into 8th grade, into 9th grade, as a reference, because this will have all your examples and all your notes. Okay, perfect. Okay, first example, we're going to go back to this 5 minus 3, okay? Okay, let me write down the rule for subtracting integers. So, okay, this is how I want it to look in your notebook. I want it Cornell note style, like we've been doing this past week. You're going to write the vocabulary word here, subtracting integers, and this is the rule. The rule is addition of the opposite. Okay. We'll write an example here. Or 5 minus 3, okay? Addition of the opposite. 5 minus 3. Okay, our rule says addition of the opposite. So we see it's a subtraction thing, right? Why don't we rewrite this? Okay, addition. So I'm going to put an add, a plus sign. And then right here we have a positive 3, right? This box right here. But we're going to add the opposite. So what are we going to add right here? A negative 3. Good. Okay. So what is 5 plus a negative 3? This is rule where our rules come in. Okay, so Jack. Oh, Shane. Jack's answered a lot of questions. Shane. Are these numbers the same sign or different signs?
Different sign.
Different signs. So we're going to use addition with different signs rule. That was rule number 2. Do you remember what we did in that rule? Adding with different signs.
In different signs. We take the largest number,
Okay, 5.
5, and we subtract 3,
Good. What's 5 minus 3?
2, negative.
Great.
Yeah,
And then, what did we do?
to the other side.
So we subtracted the numbers. That was part of the rule. Subtract the numbers and then keep what?
The symbol, the negative.
Keep the negative?
Yeah. No.
What do you think? 5 minus 3. You think it's negative 2? That's okay.
No, it's not. It's just 2.
It's just 2. Okay, good. So we keep the sign with the largest number. So our largest number is 5. And it's 5 positive or negative?
Positive.
Positive. So it's a positive 2. Good. And on a number line, we can use the number line as we go in class, but we're going to slowly learn the rules. Okay? Good. Perfect. Okay. Addition of the opposite. This is our rule for subtracting integers. Now let me also teach you another way. You guys might have heard this in 6th grade. But I want you to write this in your books as well. You might have heard this in 6th grade, which is why we're going to write this down as well. Another way we can think about addition of the opposite is cross the line. Cross the line and change the sign. So maybe this has a little bit of a ring to it. So maybe it might be easier to remember than addition of the opposite. Cross the line and change the sign. Okay. So we'll go over more examples, and you should write this in your notebook right underneath this. Okay. Cross the line, change the sign. Okay. So let's do some examples. Sorry. Okay. 4 minus 7. 4 minus 7. Okay, now let's use our cross the line, change the sign to set up our problem. What we're really doing is we're rewriting this problem with our rule. Okay, so I already kind of did it for you here, but we're going to cross the line, right? So it was a negative, we're going to cross the line to make it a positive, and change the sign. We're going to change the sign of our positive 7. So 4 plus, Shane, what is our 7 going to become? What do I write here?
Plus
Right now it's a positive 7.
negative 7.
Negative 7, good. Cross the line and change the sign. Okay, so we're going to use a number line right here. Jack, where do I start on my number line?
4.
4, okay. And where am I going? Right or left?
To the left.
How many?
7.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, Jack says our answer is negative 3. Tia, can we use our rule, this rule right here, or our previous rules to solve this without a number line? Okay, so can you help the class? What rule was it?
Where you do the opposite, so you're gonna subtract it and keep the sign bigger number.
Good, because we're adding with different signs, we're going to subtract. So what's 7 minus 4?
3.
3, and keep the sign of the bigger number, which is a negative, right? Perfect. So both ways gave us the same answer. Okay? Awesome. This is good because we're going to be doing some practice. We can do a little practice on our own. Okay. One last example, and then we'll do some practice, okay? Okay. Right here, if everybody can write this down in their notebooks, negative 2 minus a negative 5. Okay, so our rule was addition of the opposite, right? So we're going to change this negative into a positive. And Tia,
Yes.
what am I gonna write right here?
5,
5, why?
because the other one's a negative, I'm doing the opposite.
Good. Our original one's a -5, and we're gonna add the opposite. And what's opposite of negative? It's positive. Good. Okay. And Jack.
Yeah.
What is -2 plus 5? You can either use the number line or you can use the rule.
Um, 3.
3. Okay. What did you use? Can you kind of help us think through it?
Yeah. I use the, I don't know exactly, but
Did you use the rule or the number line?
I think the number line, because I like thought of it in my head. I counted 5 over.
So you started here at
Yeah.
-2 and you counted 5 over?
Yeah, to 3.
Good, that works. Perfect. Okay. And our rule again is, if you forget the rule, you can always flip back into your notebook, but it's subtract the numbers and take the sign of the biggest number. So that works too. 5 minus 2 is 3, and our biggest number is 5, and it's positive. Good. Okay, you guys think you're ready
Yes.
Yeah.
for a little practice?
Yes.
Okay. Can I have a helper? Who would like to help me? Jack, can you help me pass out some whiteboards?
Yeah.
Thank you. Whiteboards to every student.
That's awesome.
And flip it over to be the white side, without the lines.
Okay.
Okay, it's okay with this. Okay, you guys haven't used the whiteboards before in this class, have you? You haven't.
No.
Okay, there's a couple rules for whiteboards. One, we're not going to talk to each other. This is an independent practice, okay? And the rule is, I'm going to give you a problem. When you finish writing the problem on your board, you're going to solve it and you're going to hold it up. It's not a race. So just solve the problem as best as you can and hold it up. And I'm going to give you a thumbs up or a thumbs down. So if you're correct, I'll just give you a thumbs up. And it's good. If you're incorrect, I'll give you a thumbs down, but you keep trying, okay? Perfect. And everybody has it? We're going to move on. Okay. The first problem. I'll start easy and then we'll get a little bit harder, okay? The first one. Close, super, super close. Good. Okay, class, what did everybody get? Everybody got it correct.
-3.
Good. -3. Okay. So, this is subtracting integers, right?
Mhm.
So, add the opposite. Let's do that. 8, we never change our 8. We never change our first number. We're going to add. And what is the opposite of 11? -11. I know this is confusing. Sometimes this negative right out here, it's a minus. And that's why we have our rule, add the opposite. So we're going to cross the line and change the sign of this number right here, this 11, to a -11. And this is where our second rule comes in. We're going to add numbers with different signs. So 11 minus 8 is 3, and we're going to keep the sign of our largest number, -3. Good. Let's do another example really quick before class ends. Okay. Let's do, okay, how about a fairly simple one? We'll do one difficult so it's okay. Try something else. Good. Awesome. Did you guys get?
2.
Good. Okay, let's make this a little bit more difficult. Okay. For those of you using the number lines, I can't really do that in here. Awesome. 32. Good. Okay, one last one. I'll give you a couple more. You guys look like you're having fun. This one, can I see you guys write out the work using your rules, not just an answer? I don't see you guys have already been doing that. You're really close. Okay, perfect. Okay, we're about done. So 42 minus 61, really quick. Let's cross the line and change the sign of our 61. We're gonna make a negative, right? So 42 plus negative 61. The signs are different, right? We're gonna add different signs. So we're gonna do 61 minus 42. So let's do 61 minus 42 really quick. We're going to borrow. What's 11 minus 2? 9. 5 minus 4 is 1. So we have 19. Okay, we're going to keep the sign of the biggest number, and it's a negative. Negative 19. Good. Okay, thank you guys. So for your homework, you're going to do page 24 in your Go Math workbooks. And please do the odd problems. See you guys.